For dealer and by Anderson Hospital, a Newsweek World's Best Hospital. Now the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Kershaw to win. A swing and a hit to left field. That's down the line. It's going to score Burleson. Making it into third on the double by Wynn. It's Pedro Pajes. The Cardinals are on the board. They're down by 3.
The Cardinals are the real deal. They take a series from the Los Angeles Dodgers with Matt Pajeski and Frank Ladd, our producers. Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. Good to see you, buddy. How about the Cardinals?
Hey, man, I will take 2 of 3 against a team like the Dodgers any day. No, they had the opportunity to sweep it, but it's really hard to be upset with that weekend from them. I mean, after dropping 2 of 3 from Kansas City, nice little rebound here to win against that team. And that's a thing they've been doing, Tom. Beating teams that are pretty good. They've done that all year.
Even in a game where they're down 4-0, you still thought they're going to make a game out of this, and they did. They did. They cut it to 4-2, then they're down 5-2. They cut it to 5-3, and they just didn't have enough after that and lost at 7-3. Clayton Kershaw was pretty good. Apparently motivated by a video up on the board. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to relive a moment in baseball history. I'm so sorry about that.
So they played the Matt Adams home run from the 2014 division series,
which they play all the time.
Yes. And he saw it. And
sure.
I was he asked about it, or did he just volunteer that?
Now, in fairness, I was not at the game yesterday, so I don't know. Did they show it on a loop or something? I mean, did they put a graphic up like, hey, Clayton, watch this, man?
I think it's a little bush league, but I don't expect anything less from these guys, so it's no worry.
A little bush league.
Okay, so a reporter asked him.
Okay.
I can tell by the answer.
Yeah.
The reporter's like, hey, what'd you think of the video they showed of it? So obviously it was noticeable enough that it was asked in the post-game press conference. So I can see that actually both ways. I will say I can see where that would irritate him. It's one of his low points of his career. Since then, he's done a lot of great stuff. He's going to the Hall of Fame. It's not like he laughed a little bit about it, but that's probably the first time I've ever heard the Cardinals called Bush League in anything. I mean, they are considered to be National League royalty, all class. They have the best accommodations for visiting teams. The spread down in the clubhouse is always top notch. The best clubhouse guys. I mean, to say anything Bush League with regard to the Cardinals that's a first for me. So,
see, I think that was true for a very long time. In the last 10 to 15 years, there might have been a little bit more sentiment outside of St. Louis that the Cardinals were, there was a lot of not beanball stuff, but hit by pitch wars and that sort of thing. So I think that's where some of that comes from. But
that the Cardinals felt like they were above everything, and that they were, what did Madden call them? Vigilantes.
Yes, that was exactly it. Vigilantes.
I remember one time the Post-Dispatch ran a story about the Cubs, and La Russa took issue. Actually, it was an internal anger and investigation. La Russa took issue with it and said, this is BS. And actually, Bernie Miklas, our colleague here on the Gashouse Gang, stood up for the newspaper, and they had a battle. You can YouTube it if you want. But about that whole thing, that the Post-Dispatch he thought was low class, and you don't ever disrespect one of our division teams, blah blah blah. So it does happen. I just think it's it's good fun. I don't see it as a problem. Would you show the video of a moment that happened at Busch Stadium that Clayton Kershaw was involved in? Heck, I tweeted the video with no context. I just tweeted the Matt Adams home run. I've tweeted it many times. It's one of the great moments in Busch Stadium 3 history. I mean, it happened.
Here's what I said on the show with Amy earlier today. I love that even though it was somebody in the, just the video department or the presentation department, even though it was just that, right, and not like a player doing something, I love that the Cardinals organization did something with a little edge. Because usually they play it pretty conservatively. It's not like they're trying to show up players or upset anybody. And maybe they didn't think that through at all. Maybe it was just, we always play this highlight, so no big deal. Or maybe it was intentional. Hey, we're taking a little shot at Kershaw.
Yeah.
I love that they did it because first and foremost, this is an entertainment product. Your job is to entertain people in the building. And they did that. I love it. I love that they had a little bit of edge. And if it got under Kershaw's skin, fine. He still pitched well, but I love that happened.
As Zachary Kelly points out, the point that hasn't been talked enough about is I don't expect much from these guys. So what he's saying is that he's seen it before. is what Kershaw is alluding to. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less, blah, blah, blah. Like he's seen the Cardinals do. What else have they done, Clayton? I mean, I didn't know it was such a lion's den, ferocious, difficult place to come in. I always felt like visiting teams enjoyed coming to St. Louis, and Kershaw is one of the greats. I think we talked about it on Sports on a Sunday Morning. We told the fans, go enjoy the fact you get to see Clayton Kershaw pitch. I know he's pitching against the Cardinals, but soak it in. He's one of the best to play. He's going to Cooperstown. That's how I framed the whole thing on Sunday morning. I think most fans feel that way. So that was kind of weird. Now, but the greats actually, Jordan did this. The greats just manufacture things in their head to create an edge.
Mm-hmm.
And he pitched really well yesterday. Kershaw, I thought, was excellent. I know he didn't go more than 5 innings, but the way that he pitched, I was watching him. He was classic, throwing that breaking ball, changing speeds, changing locations, changing arm slots. He was classic yesterday and held the Cardinals to 1 run over those 5 innings.
I see. That's a really great point. That some of the best, and not everybody uses that as motivation. But you're right. Michael Jordan did. He was one of those like, he made, I forgot who the rookie was.
Yeah, he made
up a whole story in his mind that this rookie was talking crap about him and he wasn't. And the guy had no idea. And he just went out there and dominated him and scored 50 because he invented in his mind this whole thing where the rookie was talking crap on him.
It
wasn't even happening.
Yeah.
But hey, I love that. Whatever Kershaw has to do, that's fine.
Totally fine.
It's all entertainment. Baseball is an entertainment business. It exists to entertain us.
You don't
That's
think
what it's there for.
Cards and Cubs have taken shots at each other through the years?
Well, and Contreras wanted to play here. He was with them. He was with the Cubs, and he wanted to end up playing here.
It's all good fun to me, but yeah, I agree with you on that. At any rate, the Cardinals are in a really good position right now. All 3 teams lost yesterday, Cards, Cubs, Brewers. So the Cardinals are 4 out in the division. Brewers are 5.5 out. This sets up to be a fun week. 3 against the Blue Jays, who are good.
Yep.
They are competing in the AL East. And then the Brewers for 4, they have come alive to put themselves in a good position. What's amazing is, you look around the National League and things are starting to take shape. The Braves have completely cratered. They are now 10 games under 500. They've lost 7 in a row. The Phillies, surprisingly, have lost 5 in a row and have fallen 4.5 back in their division to the Mets. And then, the Giants and Padres are right on the Dodgers' heels, both only a game back in a 3-team race in the NL West. So it's a really nice run right now in the National League. A lot of good teams, and the Cardinals are very much in the mix.
Yeah, and this will be a very interesting rest of this month and leading into July, when a decision is going to have to be made about what they do prior to the deadline, whether that is stick with what they have, trade somebody like Ryan Helsley, who I think around baseball widely believed they're most likely trade prospect if they do decide to trade from the roster. But it's showing you the last couple of weeks, looking at the standings, as well as the Cardinals have played, and they're 5-5 in their last 10. They're going to have it's going to be tough to make up ground. And I know the Cubs schedule is going to get a little tougher, but it's still this. I think this race is going to go about like this for the next several weeks, where there's just a handful of games separating the 2 teams at the top. And you still have to look out for the Brewers, who are just a game and a half behind the Cardinals right now. And this is after I declared them dead 2 weeks ago.
And I think I did too. I think I was with you on that. I said, I'm seeing them fall out of this, and it's going to be Cards, Cubs with the Reds challenging. As it turns out, it's the other way around. The Reds are still in this, but the Brewers have taken over 3rd place. June 11th, Wednesday, Nationals Park. It's the Congressional Baseball Game for Charity. And participating in that game that was established in 1909 is U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt. He will join us next. Huge Cardinals fan. He'll join us next on the Gashouse Gang. We're sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Saliga Heating and Cooling.com.
We also have Cardinals tickets to give away for Wednesday. We'll do that before the show is over.
All right.
Now,
90 and 60. A look back at the latest St. Louis City SC match. Presented by Woods Basement Systems, Inc.
Right foot cross, headed down by Forey, right to close. He goes to the half volley, and this is over the bar. Pompeu charging into the left side of the box. Peels one back. Watch a shot saved by Pantemis. Once again, right at the keeper. Parries it away to the right attacking side of the box. Rescued by Toddler. Swings it across to Adventure off his head. No, yes! He shoots and scores! Oh, Akil Watts at the 50th minute! City leads!
Up next, City SC faces LA Galaxy Saturday afternoon. Kick at 3:30 on Y98.
Tripping over uneven concrete? Don't replace it, raise it with concrete leveling. Call the all things basement-y experts, Wood Basement Systems, for a free estimate at 618-249-5503 or learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Hey parents, looking for something fun and unforgettable to do with the kids? Bring the whole family to a Cardinals game at Busch Stadium. From kid-friendly activities and giveaways to awesome promotions like Kids Run the Bases. Your little ones will have a blast, and so will you. Check out Family Sundays, presented by Smithfield, where select tickets include a free jumbo hot dog and soda. There's nothing like sharing the magic of Cardinals baseball together. Make your memories this summer at Busch Stadium. Tickets are available at cardinals.com.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
From the studios of KMOX in downtown St. Louis with producers Matt Pajeski, Frank Ladd, and with Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. Great to have you on the Gashouse Gang. We're sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Since 1909, the Congressional Baseball Game has been an annual bipartisan event beloved by all and enjoyed by thousands. This year's game is June 11th at Nationals Park, and participating once again is U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri. Senator, it's great to have you back on KMOX.
It's good to hear your voice, Tom. How are you?
It's good to hear yours. I'm doing well. Last time I saw you was in the broadcast booth down in Jupiter, and we talked about when your workouts were going to begin for this very game, or I asked you. So how has that gone?
They're early, brother. They are very early in the morning. So it's like 5:50. I get up. We're there 5:45 in the morning. So that's 4:45 St. Louis time. And it starts like in late March and goes till I think we've got our last BP tomorrow morning, and then we're on the field on Wednesday. So it's fun. It's early, but you know, at 49, judging fly balls isn't as easy as it used to be, and you got to get your timing right for the big game. So it's a lot of fun to hang out with the other guys too.
You got to run on your toes. Make sure you don't run on your heels because the ball will jump around on you. That's
I know. Well, and also in a major league stadium too, as you know, like. Yep. You've got the lights and you've got the tiers and you've got so it's a little different than just in the practice field too.
So there are like 60 people who are on the rosters here. Does everybody is this like Little League where everybody has to get in the game, or are you trying to win?
No, we're trying to win. Roger Williams, who's our manager, actually played big league ball. So he's a congressman from Texas, and we're not interested in getting everybody in the game. So we play the starting 9 and we play a hard 9.
All right.
Actually, we play 7 innings, but yeah, no, we're playing to win. So we've got a lineup that, look, this is the bar is relatively low, right? I mean, this isn't Sonny Gray out there on the mound, but we've got a pretty decent team. Last year we won 31-11. The year before that we won, I think, 16-6 or something. So we've got a pretty decent lineup, sort of the heart of the order. So we want to get some runs up on the board and play good defense.
So who's not going to play? Who do you think will not make it off the bench?
Oh, there's a bunch. Well, I should say that some people come in to pinch run later in the game to get into the game. So, but look, they're out there practicing every morning. They've got their office and people that are there that come in from their state. We actually have our state team comes in. We have sort of an office retreat, and they get to the game. My family will be there. So, there's 30,000 people there. It's kind of wild. So it fills up, except for the upper deck. Nats Park is pretty filled. So it's kind of a fun experience. I was joking in the outfield last year with one of the other outfielders when we were out there. I said, this is what I really wanted to do with my life. And then, I ended up in the U.S. Senate. So
I was going to say, Senator, first of all, you and I are the same age. So I worked out with my daughter's softball team on Friday, and I'm feeling it today. So I know, and that was nothing compared to what you're doing in your workouts. But ever since I've known you, you've loved the game of baseball. What is it about the game? What is your history with the game of baseball and here in St. Louis?
Well, I grew up here. I grew up in Bridgeton and grew up going to games with my dad and my family. And, the first game I really remember was Game 2 of the 1982 World Series, walking through the gate there and seeing the people part and how white the uniforms were and how red the Reds were and how red the jerseys were. I was hooked. So I go to a bunch of games and I've been able to pass that along to my kids. I still listen to KMOX. Last night I was outside grilling, drinking a few Busch Lights, listening to the game in the afternoon. It's just kind of it's the soundtrack of the summer for me. And in St. Louis, it's such a special tradition that's passed on and it's really kind of a family affair. So I love baseball. I got to play it in high school and even into college. So I just love the game.
So you were listening yesterday. You know how the Cardinals have been playing. They just took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. Just your overall feeling on this team.
I feel good. I was telling somebody the other day, this may be the first season in a long time where I may have underestimated the win total. I'm generally a pretty optimistic guy and I love the team. I didn't know what to expect. Is there whatever a runway season really meant, but you knew that they were building towards something a little bit further down the road. But this is a fun team. You've got some exciting players. Their pitching staff, especially starting pitchers, have done a pretty good job, right? Kind of keeping everybody in the game. And I think their resilience, they're never really out of any game and could put together a big inning with some offense. So I'm kind of bullish. I think that this team, if they can kind of stay where they're at, they're playing well even against good teams. It's not like they're just racking up a bunch of wins against, the Pirates. So I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised. I think it's a good team. It'd be a lot of fun if they make the playoffs and see if they can have a run.
The Cubs come in at the end of this month. They haven't even played the Cubs yet. And it's been kind of a weird schedule, hasn't it?
It's wild. I hate admitting this. The Cubs look pretty good this year, so that'll be a good test. But, I think that maybe people thought there was only going to be one team out of the Central. There could be 2 teams out of the Central, with the Braves not looking as good as maybe everybody thought. But still, it's still the beginning of June. A lot can happen. But this team plays good defense. They've had good starting pitching. That's always a pretty good recipe. And I think the offense has been a little bit of a surprise. But, between Donovan and Newbar at the sort of the top of the order, I don't know. It feels like one of those teams. It's hard to kind of point to another team. We've had so many good ones that kind of they get in and they make a little run. But Sonny Gray is a legit ace. And Libator is perhaps the biggest surprise. I'm glad they kept him in the starting lineup. And Victor Scott, Tom, when we were down there talking, it was towards the end of spring training. I don't think he was set to make the team, right? And he just played his way onto the roster, and he's been great.
Senator Eric Schmidt is joining us on the Gashouse Gang. You said that you're an optimistic guy when it comes to the Cardinals, but do you ever throw the remote?
I can neither confirm nor deny
so yes.
that. Yeah. Oh my God. I actually, during playoff games, it's hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch us, on the field when we're not hitting. So, I mean, I had a place in Kirkwood. I don't know if anybody's familiar with PJ's Tavern, but for away elimination games in the playoffs, I had a spot at the end of the bar that I went to for over a decade. It started in Game 7 of the 2006 series against the Mets. But I would go there because I'm a little superstitious, I guess, being a former ball player, and I get pretty into the games. So there's a lot of nervous energy when I watch games.
PJ's, what a good call there. Good. We've got a lot of good spots, and that's one in Kirkwood that has had some great history. Senator, I have to imagine that baseball is also an escape for you. You mentioned earlier about grilling and having a few Busch Lights. I mean, you have a busy job, an intense job, and baseball, I think you share this with a lot of people. And we recognize that as broadcasters. It's a way to just get away for a little while.
Absolutely. It's a great distraction for me. It's what I prefer to watch in the evenings. Unless I'm on a show or something, I would much rather be watching the Cardinals or listening on the radio. Honestly, I probably prefer listening even than watching. And even on my flight, like I'm at Lambert right now, getting ready to get on a flight. I check out Cardinal podcasts. I'll listen to all you guys, Bernie, everybody, just to kind of keep up with what's going on. Because sometimes in the evening it's hard to watch every game, but that is my great escape. And actually being at the ballpark, Tom, that's my favorite place to be. Other than being home, being at the game, I've been to so many over the years, so many special memories with my family or friends or people I didn't know. I remember the game, Game 7 of the 2004 NLCS when Roland hit that home run that kind of sealed it. And he was actually in D.C. recently. I got to talk to him. But I mean, I clobbered the guy next to me and fell over. And, there's just so much joy that can come from a sports team. And growing up playing sports and loving sports and being from St. Louis, it's a pretty cool thing for me to be able to do it. You're right. It's a great distraction. I love it.
Senator, I wanted to ask you also, Busch Stadium, you saw the empty seats as well as we did. I know it's starting to fill back up again. Do you feel like it's safe to go to a game in downtown St. Louis? And what would you like to see to ensure that through the years?
Absolutely. We're actually working on some things right now that maybe can provide some help for law enforcement. When at my previous job as Attorney General, that was always really important to me. People should be able to feel safe down there, and I think it is a safe place to be. But yeah, I know the Cardinals are very focused on that with private security. The men and women in blue do a great job down there, and I would just encourage people to get to the games. There's nothing like playoff baseball in St. Louis, but we're just sort of known for having 35,000 people on a Tuesday game, and I want to get back to that. And I think this team is helping with that because it's providing a little bit of direction, a little bit of an identity. I think the last couple of years it was just a little bit different for Cardinal fans. You didn't really know the identity of the team as well, and last year was a rough year. So, but these are the best fans in baseball. There's no question about that. Have been for a very, very long time. So I'm encouraged to see the bigger crowds. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that when the team is good and people are confident it is good, they will come out and they will support it for sure. All right, so you've got the congressional game, which is happening on Wednesday. We were just talking about Michael Jordan, who used to invent slights against him so that he was motivated. And it was the name we couldn't think of who it was, but it was LeBradford Smith of the Bullets. That's who did it. Right. Yeah. And so Jordan's like, oh, really? And he came out and scored 50 the next game. At any rate, who are you going to? Do you have to invent a beef with somebody else on the other side for this game, or do you already have one?
Well, I was asked on the show, a podcast, are you a thrill of victory or agony of defeat guy? I hate losing, so I'm pretty competitive. I mean, I feel like everybody likes winning. I despise losing. And so last year, I'd had a good first year. I had a bases loaded triple, I think was 2 for 3. And then last year I had a couple more doubles, but my last couple of bats, I got beamed.
Oh.
And I told, and one of them was the guy who's a friend of mine, Alex Padilla. He's a senator from California. You got to remember, there's only 2 senators that really play, him and me, because the House guys are generally younger. The average age in the Senate is 68. So I'm the only senator on the field. But I told Alex beamed me, and he came up, and I was like, he goes, man, if I was trying to hit you, I would have thrown in the first pitch. I go, don't worry about it. You don't throw hard enough for it to hurt. So So I got hit the last couple times, and then my last at bat had a double. So, I carry that with me. I'll go into this game, and every year I want to prove something to myself and the people that show up. I'm just a competitive guy, and this is a lot of fun. It's for a great cause. We raise over $2.5 million for local charities. There's an event where young people who receive scholarships that they got because of this game show up. That's a really cool part of this. But once you're on the field, I want to win, and I want to go 4 for 4. I want to hit one out of the park, and whatever. We'll see if that happens, but I want to win.
They created a foundation called Congressional Sports for Charity. It provides support to worthy and effective charities serving vulnerable children and families in the Washington, D.C. area, as well as scholarships to deserving local youth, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington, Washington Nationals Philanthropies, and the United States Capitol Police Memorial Fund in gratitude to the brave officers at the Republican practice shooting on June 14th, 2017. Senator, congratulations on another spot on the team and a important one. It sounds like they're going to be leaning on you quite a bit. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. I'll try to represent Missouri, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you. Senator Eric Schmidt, thank you, with us on KMOX. Big baseball fan, baseball player.
Yeah, maybe a beanball war will happen on Wednesday.
We'll see.
Some retaliation.
I don't know. When we come back,
fireworks.
The voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, with us on KMOX, and we're going to give away some tickets in just a little bit.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor and Pella Window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters.
It is 81 degrees and sunny. The high today will be 84 in St. Louis. Weather brought to you by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Named one of Newsweek's world's best hospitals for 2025, Anderson Hospital is your hospital for life, delivering exceptional, compassionate care to families across the Metro East. From emergency services to specialized treatments, our dedicated team supports your health at every stage. Experience world-class care close to home. Discover the difference at andersonhospital.org.
Charlie Brennan once again with Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler, is it possible we might say, oh, those kids are mumbling, when the problem really is our own inability to hear?
Exactly. Hearing is integral in everything that we do. It keeps us involved and embraced in life. Not hearing someone is never normal. Ringing in the ears is never normal. And when people have a hearing loss, oftentimes they complain that they can hear, but they cannot understand people. And avoiding getting a hearing aid can have long-term effects on the speech reception area of the brain. So what that means is if you test and treat the hearing loss early with a hearing aid, we can prevent a decline in the speech understanding that can happen if the hearing loss goes untreated.
The words of Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. 3 locations in St. Louis, 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Universal Windows Direct. If you're a homeowner like me, you know how it goes. You work hard for your home, you take pride in it. But let's be honest, it's always something, right? Well, right now from Universal Windows, you can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 314-334-2522 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. I've been in business with these guys for a while now. I really trust them. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-million. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
There's a line drive up the middle, picked by Wynn. He spins, throws. He got him! Wow, what a play! Wynn from the outfield grass, spinning, throwing a strike to Contreras.
That is the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, with Chris Ranji, our producers, Matt Pajeski, Frank Ladd. Good visit last segment with U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt. Here is John Rooney. How are you, John?
Doing fine, Tom. Chris, good to be with you.
Good to be with you. This is a run that I think the Cardinals fans are thrilled with. I imagine that you are as well, taking 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers are a great team. They've had so many injuries with their pitching in particular, but that's a team that you hold them to what they accomplished with runners in scoring position in the game yesterday. That's really saying something. That's about all they did. And that's the game they won, but the Cardinals were in it. And it seemed like that Mookie Betts home run, that turned the day. So the Dodgers won 1, and now the Blue Jays come in beginning tonight for 3.
Talked about it a number of times, the Cardinals' record against good teams this season, those teams that are at the 500 mark or better, and they have been really good compared to a lot of other teams in baseball. They've been really good against the better competition. Why do you think it's happened that way, that they have been, it's seemingly better against those sorts of teams than the teams that aren't very good?
Well, I think they want to go out and compete every day. I said this the other day. They take the game that's in front of them. And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if they're ahead or behind when it comes to getting good at bats. And the pitchers, for the most part, have kept the Cardinals in games. The 2 games they lost to the Royals, the starting pitching gave up 7 earned runs in each game. And you're only as good as that day's starting pitcher. And I know Andre Palante, who gave up 7 in his last start, he wants to improve on that drastically. And by bringing up Michael McGreevy and extending the pitcher's rest another day, hopefully that's going to make a big difference. And hopefully we'll see that from Matthew Liberatore, too, who seemed to be tiring and with fatigue issues, came out of his last start as Matthew just didn't quite have the velocity that we've seen before, but he has pitched so well this year that you'd like to see him get back on track, and I know he does as well. But they take the game that's in front of them, they play it, they compete, and they go on about their business the next day. And they haven't lost many series. They've kept themselves in games, and they've made things very exciting for all of us.
John, one of our viewers, Cards Baseball Wisdom 1212, makes a good point, saying, I was happy how McGreevy stuck in there for 6 innings, regardless of the 3-run second inning. McGreevy has the heart of a lion. I agree. We have a good thing going here where the Cardinals are winning ball games, and at the exact same time, they are developing, and that was a developing moment for Michael McGreevy, without question.
And many of these players that are on the roster, Tom, they've been in development at the big league level going back to last year and a few the year before that. So it's not like they just called up the Memphis Redbirds and filled in with the Springfield Cardinals to put a roster together. It's not like they did that, and they really feel like they have a point to prove. Not that they can go out and compete, which they do, but that they can go out, compete, and win games. And they're doing that too. Michael McGreevy has been ready for this moment. He had some hard-hit baseballs against him, but he found a way to get the Cardinals the innings they needed to save a bullpen that they're going to need going up against the Toronto Blue Jays, a 3-game series before they go on the road and get back to the division finally and play Milwaukee come Thursday.
How do you feel about that schedule? The fact that the team that is the biggest rival to them historically and this season, they have not seen and won't until the end of the 3rd month.
Well, I think you know what I feel about the schedule. I think too much time and too many resources are put into getting ready to play a team just 3 times. And then to have to wait it out because of poor weather. The Cardinals have already played 5 doubleheaders, and they've taken away from the games they played within the division. And the Dodgers are looking forward to playing San Diego today. They haven't seen Padres yet. they haven't played much within their division. The Cardinals, I think, are right at about the high 30s or right at 40% of their interleague schedule. But I think so much goes into preparing for just 3 games that you're going to play against a team from the other league, and then you swing back into your division. And we will see Milwaukee more, of course, but we won't see the Chicago White Sox after the series next week. And then it's right back into preparing for the next team. But it takes a lot to win just one ball game, and so much goes into 3 games. And with the players having to wait out rain delays, one thing and another, I think a lot of these teams, not just the Cardinals, but everybody in baseball, they're going to be worn down considerably by the time we get to the All-Star break. So I'm not sure this schedule is a great idea to play everybody, but it's what we have, and it is nice to see some of those players coming in that we don't get to see on a regular basis. But not a lot of folks came out to see Mike Trout play when the Angels were here, but he's certainly worth watching, one of the best to come along in a long, long time. And we'll get to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. beginning tonight, and some other really good players, including Barrios, who's been tough on the Cardinals in the past. So that part of it from the fan standpoint is really, really good. But with all that goes into preparing for just those 3 games, and then you don't see them again until maybe the World Series if you're lucky, I'm not sure that that's the way to go. But I have no say in it, so it's a game coming up. I embrace that. Look forward to going to the ballpark and telling the fans about the Cardinals and the Blue Jays tonight.
We get to see Jordan Walker soon. He is going to work his way back. But in the meantime, while a lot of attention I thought was paid to Nolan Gorman and how many at-bats is he going to get as a result of Walker's injury, I'm really happy for Alec Burleson. Burley is coming alive here. He's hitting .296. He had 2 more hits yesterday. He played right field again. He's got a cannon of an arm. He holds runners. You know, John, Burley had a struggle, didn't he, to start the year, and it looks like he's found it.
So did Mason Wynn. Wynn had a struggle. He was like 0 for 20, 0 for 21, and he had a lot of trouble getting his way going forward. And look at what he's doing right now. He's hitting with people on base, driving in runs, doing a terrific job. So just give Burleson a chance. I know some people wanted to write him off. He's one of the best pure hitters the Cardinals have. Ricky said that time after time, and I agree wholeheartedly.
Absolutely. He hits it to all fields. John, thank you so much for the visit. It's always good to hear you. Great job over the weekend. Just bringing the broadcast to life, and the Cardinals did their part with some excellent baseball. They'll get after it tonight. The Cardinals and the Toronto Blue Jays right here on KMOX at 6:45. Have a great rest of your day.
Will do. Take care, guys.
Take care. Gashouse Gang on KMOX with Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. We want to give away some tickets.
Should we do it now? Yeah. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
What, what's the number? Pick a number.
Oh man. Let's go 8.
Caller number 8 to the contest line, 314-955-1120. And you will get to see the Cardinals and Blue Jays on Wednesday. 4-pack of tickets for Wednesday's day game. You ready to go? Right now, 314-955-1120. Best of luck. Caller 8.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code QUOTE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code QUOTE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code QUOTE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, this is Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Let's tune out the noise a little bit and focus on a retirement plan. If you don't have one or don't know how to get started, find us on our website at saxfinancial.com or retiresafestl.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Dave and Rach here for our good friends at Smart Mouth. So it is unique by the very definition of the word. It's the only mouth rinse out there with two chemicals that combine to prevent bad breath for 24 hours a day with just 2 rinses a day.
Never have bad breath again. You can find Smart Mouth locally at Schnucks and Deerbergs or at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon. Visit smartmouth.com to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That's smartmouth.com/Glover.
On the Chris and Amy Show, we're launching 100 Acts of Kindness because apparently honking less in traffic doesn't count as charity.
We're teaming up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to prove kindness doesn't have to cost a dime.
Hold the door, say thank you, help your neighbor take out their trash without throwing yours in first.
No grand gesture required, just small, simple acts of human decency. We believe in you.
Join us and share your stories with hashtag 100KindActs.
Kindness, it's like a group hug without the awkwardness.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and by Anderson Hospital on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Raj, do we have a winner on those tickets?
We do. Guy named Justin from St. Peter's won those tickets to see the Cardinals and the Blue Jays on Wednesday afternoon. 4-pack of tickets Justin won.
Much hotter ticket than it was a month ago.
Oh, of course. And we give things away on the show. We care about people, right?
Yeah, absolutely we do. Congratulations, Justin. Things are going to get exciting around here. You've got the Brewers for 4. That place will be rocking. They love beating the Cardinals. That's this coming weekend. 4 games, and then the Cubs here June 23rd through the 26th.
Oh boy,
man! Oh man, that is going to be
fun. we've got the UFL championship game here at the Battle Dome on Saturday. Can't wait to see the Battlehawks.
Can't wait to see them go to
Battlehawks. They lost it.
Daughter's softball game, as I mentioned yesterday, got home excited to turn on the second half, caught the last minute of the second quarter, and they're down like 19-6.
What in the hell?
What is going on? And so they blow it again. They lose another conference championship game and a chance to. The whole thing's set up for them. I mean, the whole thing is set up for them. The St. Louis is hosting back-to-back years the Super Bowl of the United Football League, and they can't get there. Now, that's one thing. So football is a tough sport. It's hard to win. But to not be able to compete, I mean, it's not like it came down to the last play. Both games were decided pretty early, I would say. Last year's maybe a little closer. I was calling it with Mike Martz. There wasn't a radio broadcast this year. But this one was not competitive. I mean, they lose at 36-18, I think was the final score. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I think the UFL needed them to win. I mean, I agree with you. How does this league continue on when people are going to turn on Saturday and it's DC against Michigan in St. Louis with like a dozen people there? I don't know how that happens.
Your best bet for having a crowd would be to have it in St. Louis because it has been by far the most supportive city of all of them. The first iteration of the league from a few years ago, I don't mean a few years like 2020, not 2000, but like this iteration of the league, this has been by far the most supportive city with the best attendance. We've talked about it time and time again. So I don't know how they survive it. I don't know how much longer this can go on. They still had 27,500 at this last game. I made the argument during the show this morning, the midday show, that it is such a stupid idea, I think, to play this game on a Sunday evening. You're not the NFL, man. You're not the NFL. People are not going to set aside their Sunday nights to come out and watch you when they have to work the next day. Do it on a Saturday. And I don't care what you're going up against on TV. Do it on a Saturday because people have the day off on Sunday. They can come out and hang out, whether it's Saturday afternoon or a Sunday night, or do a Sunday afternoon if you insist on playing on Sundays. It seems like the league, and I know that wasn't the Battlehawks decision, what time that game was. The league sets these all up. So I don't know if they do the best job at marketing the sport, and they have a handicap to start, and that is they are not the NFL. So it's very difficult to get people to buy into your league when you're not clearly the best league that people follow religiously. You're not the NFL. So I get that. But I don't know how they do better at marketing, but it seems like they could do a whole lot better.
Well, you have to do all you can to put people in the seats. You have to. Then I'm going to tell the UFL right now, if you want to play in the big time on the big networks, you've got to put people in the seats somehow, some way. These are television shows with audiences.
Yep.
What's the biggest studio television show there is? American Idol. Imagine American Idol with a smattering of people in the seats. Nobody's going to watch that.
No.
They watch it because of the reaction of the crowd to what's on stage. I mean, it's the energy of the place. You have to have it. So somehow, some way, they have to put people in the seats. And St. Louis did the best job of all. Don't dare anybody criticize St. Louis fans for not being there yesterday, even though it was a smaller crowd. They're the best fans you've got. And they did all they could. So that is not on them. That is on the league trying, because there is no St. Louis Battlehawks local office. This is run by the league. They don't even train here.
Yeah, they practice.
They train in Texas.
Yeah.
So they're doing all they can, the Battlehawks group, trying to get players in the community, trying to collect for tornado damage. The group that's here for the Battlehawks does all it can in the community, but the league is responsible for marketing, as you said, and you've got to find a way to get people in the seats. You cannot let that happen. I don't care what it is. You get The Rock to show up and sign autographs. He didn't even come. Did he come to St. Louis once ever in the history of the league?
I don't think so. I remember wondering if he would, and he never did.
You do something. You do something to get people there at these games. Memphis, that's an embarrassment. I mean, it's like they're playing in an empty stadium. There's nobody there.
Feels like 2020.
It did.
Watching the rest of the league, it feels like watching 2020 sports.
And not to mention, you're doing this, as you mentioned, at a time where there's a lot going on. I mean, the NHL, NBA, finals, both of them. Not to mention baseball and all the racing events and golf and tennis. There's a lot going on right now for eyeballs. And so you have to get yourselves into you have to get people into a routine of viewing. You can't just, I didn't know when the Battlehawks games were half the time. I had to look it up. Are they Friday? Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? Is it Sunday morning? When, they're all over the place, and still they were easily the most popular team in the league.
And you don't have the kind of league where people are going to seek it out to make sure they know what time the game is. People aren't talking about the schedule 5 months before the games happen like they do in the NFL. That's not happening here. So you need to be pretty consistent for a while. And I said this earlier, play on Saturdays exclusively. Play on days where it's more likely people come to the games and watch. That's the number one. You're right. The number one thing you can do is when people turn on the TV and they see, oh, there's football. Oh, there's like 2 people in the stands. This football must suck. Like, that's what they're thinking. When you look at a game, when you turn on a game, you think, oh, we're either in a COVID year or this league must suck. That's what you're thinking.
That is what a casual fan who doesn't know anything about the Battlehawks.
That's right. But if you see a crowd, you're more likely to stick around and watch.
Exactly right. Now, Anthony Becht is a big boy. He's been around the NFL. He's been on the Jets radio pregame, postgame, so he understands criticism as well as anybody. He's got to be better. And that team was not good, not competitive in their biggest moment. Their offense was not good, and their defense wasn't good.
Right.
So, that's on him. And I could sit here and say that championships are won. They're hard to win, and you have to go through bruises and scars. You have to go through tears to understand what it's like and why that championship tastes so good. I could say that now, but I don't know if there's even a season next year.
That's what I'm wondering, and I think is the biggest question. Is we can love going to the games and we can be supportive of this league and people have a good time. I've been to multiple games. They are fun to go to, but the problem is it feels like this league could just be over at any minute. Like this championship game could happen on Saturday at the Dome, and it's just that's it. That's the end of the whole thing. It feels like that could happen at any time. So I just don't feel like the league's done a very good job of keeping it front of mind.
In the meantime, you have the Cardinals, the Blues, St. Louis City SC, the Billikens, Worldwide Technology Raceway, everything within 10 minutes of each other here in the city. So there's plenty to go on, but that's a big miss right there. That could have been national news to see a full house for a UFL game in St. Louis.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. The MLS, it's new in St. Louis. That league's not going anywhere. So you've got a built-in fan base. It's always going to be there. You know that. UFL, they don't have that luxury.
The Gashouse Gang. Great to be with you, buddy.
You too, pal. Enjoy your trip.
Ollie Marmol tomorrow right here on KMOX.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop.